Pleasant evening to each and every one of us, or perhaps it may be good morning or good day, depending on where you are joining us from. My name is Alvin Morton, and I have been an IMA with the One Life Network since 2017, and I have been one of the earliest presenters for the OneAcademy. This evening, I have the privilege and pleasure of taking us through the One Life presentation, and I am going to get started right away on that exercise. I do wish to acknowledge those of us present, Team IAM, our Diamond Consultants, Ruby Consultant, Muriel Lizama and Noel Emmanuel Jack. And of course, Mr. Wayne Wilson is an eagle among us. Thank you very much for being on the call this evening. And permit me to share my screen as well as sound. And we are going to talk a bit today about making the possible impossible. And when we examine that word impossible, it really means I'm possible. So this is actually making the possible personal. That is to make it I'm possible. And to do that, we must reinvent ourselves. But before we talk about how we should reinvent ourselves, I would like to remind each and every one of us that we are not an investment. We provide educational packages. Anyone who is talking about investment or anything of this sort is not referring to this business. And it is a business. Please, any one of us that have invited anybody, and that's when we are speaking with them, we need to make sure that we are properly represented. We provide educational products, and these educational products give the opportunity to members to put into practice, to take the theory and make it practical as far as this cryptocurrency is concerned. We are not an investment company, we are not an investment intermediary, and we do not sell any investment. When you provide your currency for us, we provide you with access to educational packages. No different from any online university or any other entity that engages in the supply and provision of education. And as we are talking about that, let's take some steps back. For some of us, it may be well before we entered the planet. For some of us, it may seem like just yesterday when these devices on our left ruled the roost and were considered to be the best thing since sliced bread. All of those devices on the left have now been replaced by a single device on the right. This is a smartphone compared to the various gadgets that we see on the left. And we expect, as we continue to live longer, that this trend will continue. Many of us see crisis. COVID-19 has brought forward and brought to bear this business of crisis. The truth of the matter is, opportunity also exists right alongside the crisis. And it is in that space that the WhatsApp, Airbnb, and Uber platforms came into being. I was in a Toastmasters conference in May, and one of the keynote speakers said that there were more business startups, believe it or not, in this COVID-19 scenario than there were pre-COVID-19, if that is at all possible. But this is really par for the course. And that is going to be extended now and continues to be extended to things such as from barter to gold to cash to checks. And if you came from the English side of the world, checks would have been CHEQUES, borrowing from the French. We had bank cards, and most of us, when those things were coming out, our forebears would have said that's the worst thing. We should stay away from that. And now we are in the realm of cryptocurrencies, loosely and perhaps less precisely called digital money. But who needs this thing called cryptocurrency? Let's start with the unbanked. As we can see from this map, there are quite a few places and spaces on this great planet that we call home, planet Earth, where as many as 80% of specific populations are unbanked. This means that they do not use formal or semi-formal financial services and therefore are largely excluded from the benefits, in quotes, that the modern financial system provides us and which many of us have become accustomed to as a normal course and part of our business. Remittances. This is a real sore topic for those of us who have to send money to our loved ones abroad, who are trying to build our futures. They're trying to grow small businesses. And as much as 600 billion, this is probably US dollars, are sent per year between people. And of course, there's this thing of the high taxes, the high fees that are associated with the business of sending remittances. Global trade. This involves the buying and selling of goods, ease of settlements, cross-border purchases, and we all have to pay attention to fraudulent transactions. They exist, and there's a cost associated with it, the cost of trust, some would say. And in the global trade arena, there are restrictions on where and what you can buy or sell. We assert that the platform that One Life Network represents, the ecosystem as it largely mitigates, if not makes irrelevant, any concerns surrounding global trade. And as we progress through this presentation, we will see why that is so and why we firmly believe in the statement I've just made. Protecting income and wealth. Isn't this important? Wouldn't you be interested in learning about how one can do that? Especially after the debacle that was the financial meltdown, the Great Recession in 2008. Many countries adopted this practice of printing money ad nauseum, ad infinitum. In fact, I think it seems to be in keeping with MMT, modern monetary theory. And we are yet to see the full effects, particularly in terms of inflation and other controls, which MMT will bring about. Trick question. Most of us have this lovely looking $100 bill as part of our wallets. Can this $100 bill buy the same amount of goods and services that it bought in 2020? We don't have to rush at once. I'm pretty sure we would all agree that it can't. Therefore, would we expect somehow that the same wonderful looking $100 bill would be able to buy the same amount of goods that we were able to buy in 2021 or even 2020? Some may argue that it may not even be able to buy the same amount of goods we were able to buy just last month. How do we deal with this reality that the fiat currency, and it really doesn't matter which one it is, TT dollars, US dollars, euro, whichever, is guaranteed. It is built in, it is designed to depreciate. Interestingly enough, we have a system that is not guaranteed to decrease. Sounds strange? I invite you to remain for the full presentation. Come again, listen, and also get around the community. And you will discover that this is, in fact, the truth. Because the currency that we really deal with, and that's why that disclaimer at the beginning of my presentation was so important, is education. Comes from the word educo, which means to draw out, not to put in. Education is at the heart of our company, and we have all sorts of education in finance, in forex, in law. It's in 7 languages. Education cannot be taken from you once it has been absorbed and properly incorporated at the DNA level, preferably, of your very being. I believe it is Aristotle or Narcissus who said that if he went broke in the morning, the first thing he would do is get around rich people, because for some reason or the other, they seem to have a real understanding of this word called education. And as we talk further and we appreciate Charlie Tremendous Jones's statement that we are the sum total of the people we meet and the books we have read. One of the books to read is Robert Kiyosaki's series, starting with Rich Dad Poor Dad, going all the way through to some of his latest material. One of the newest entrants on offer through the One Life Network, of course, is the blockchain course. Blockchain semi-professional. It is €2,000, roughly 20,000 TT dollars. And you get OneAcademy Finance, level 1, levels 1 to 3. Blockchain, levels 1 and 2. Promotional tokens, which you are free to refuse if you do not wish to have them. That's part, and also an auto mining package component. There is a split, and there's a slide that talks about the split. We will get into that later. And then, of course, there are bonuses if you decide to pursue sharing and telling others. We must recognize that cryptocurrencies, again, born out of the crisis of 2008 through Satoshi Nakamoto. We don't know who he, she, or they are, but it was that whole protocol, that peer-to-peer transaction system, that is widely acknowledged to be the birthplace or its birth ground for cryptocurrencies. And what are cryptocurrencies? They are protocols that allow the validation of transactions and therefore excludes the need of a third party, be they banks, credit card companies, or others. They have the potential to impact various aspects of the financial markets and the wider economy. They can dramatically reduce transaction costs. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, there is so much interest to the extent that central banks are coming up with CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, because they recognize exactly what is captured in this point on the innovation. And moreover, they do have or mimic the behavior of gold, and as such, they are called virtual gold. The more that a cryptocurrency is used, the more its demand. What happens when demand increases and supply remains the same or decreases? Perhaps we can answer that question at a later point in time. Another term that is being used, we talked about the blockchain. What is it? It is a digital technology that records and verifies transactions. It too is an innovative technology. It creates cost-efficient networks. It will change and has changed and will continue to change the way many industries operate, up to and including the financial markets. It is safe. Blockchain's ledger can track and trace anything of value. So we have countries such as Estonia that are using this and have used this extensively. You can become an e-resident of Estonia, all because of this very innovative technology called the blockchain. We invite you, simply on what I've just shared, to become an independent marketing associate and join this revolution. Why? What is our mission? Our mission is quite simple. It's to enable a global community of web users. We are already using the web, so why not take an active part in using and improving new cutting-edge digital products and services? When Facebook came out, did we have this opportunity? No. When Instagram came out, did we have the opportunity? No. So let us get in front, get on board, because the quality of life of members will increase. And this is part of the aim of the One Life opportunity. We want to provide alternative and equal access to practical and relevant financial education. Notice, we do not sell coins. We are not an investment company. We are not an investment intermediary. We simply provide you with the education for you to make the informed decisions. And once people are educated, a natural educational evolution will emerge. And where there is such educational evolution, it is inevitable that opportunities for economic growth will be created, and always this augurs well for any economy, for any scenario, for any country that is interested in elevating, improving the capital and human stock, which, if we go back to the original tenets of economics, are the two key factors for expanding economic growth and activity. 3.7 million users. We are already an online country. There'll be more about that later on in this presentation. North America and the Caribbean, 100,000. Latin America, 400,000. More than 190 countries in only 5 years. So what are we about again? We are about financial education. You will see the word education listed here 4 times. Now we have added legal, and maybe not so recent. Forex is a part of it. The Forex market has anywhere from 5 to 6.6 $6.6 trillion. And then we have the blockchain education. These 4 pillars are key as we progress and must emerge from the post-COVID or post-pandemic scenario. I can still remember that only up to maybe a few months ago, I was still doing a lot of ATM transactions. Now I am transferring money bank to bank from the comfort of my home. Don't we think that the banks and the financial intermediaries are not looking at these 4 pillars to determine how to extract, if not increase, or better yet, at least maintain their dominance in whichever section of the economy they currently dominate? Something to consider. We saw something earlier about splits and mining. What happens when you buy an educational package and you accept the tokens? Because the two are not necessarily synonymous. You can accept the education and refuse the tokens. The tokens have no cost. You are paying for the education. What happens? Well, you've received your tokens, and depending on the particular package you have purchased, you will either have 1 split or 2 splits. A split is, apologies, effectively a doubling of the tokens. These are then submitted to the blockchain, and there's a course that you can avail yourself of to become more okura with the technical and inner workings. And that mining process converts the tokens to a one coin called the one. Let's look at it another way. You have been inducted. You've come in as a fresher, as we would say when I was entering university, too many years now to talk about. And you've come to the OneAcademy University for a year. You've purchased a level 2 blockchain educational package. It's €2,000 or 20,000 TT roughly. And you get 22,000 tokens. Your first split doubles. So doing the math, you get 44,000. And if the difficulty rate at the time when you have submitted it to the blockchain is 750 to 1, divide the 44,000 by 750 and you get approximately 59 points. The current value of the one is €42.43. If it gets to 75, what do we have? We will have a value of $4,402.50. How is this possible? Especially in this particular arrangement. So how is possible? Demand increased, supply remained the same, because it's a fixed amount of ones that the company will make available. Where can we use this value? This is not the TT dollar, 800 or whatever it is, that is guaranteed to decrease. Just for reinforcement, because I think this is such a key point, we are selling educational packages. And it is that education that will lead you to the deal shaker. And the deal shaker is like an online marketplace. And there's a slide that talks about that, where you can make use of this value. In TNT, there are about 4,000, maybe 5,000 on independent marketing associates. Many of whom are also on the deal shaker. And that provides us with the opportunity to borrow the term from TIM, the tale of two economies. So while the physical economy may be shut down for obvious reasons, perhaps, and we expect and hope, well-intentioned, we can continue to function because of this online marketplace. Tokens, when provided, when activated, are promotional. And once again, give the IMA the opportunity to apply the knowledge. The use of the tokens converted to points and then use of the deal sheet is a part of the education process. So you can purchase goods, or you can elect to become a merchant and earn even as you learn. Remember, no one buys OneCoins or tokens. Those are promotional. And many may have some disquiet and understandably so, and we encourage people to do their due diligence. Go to Google if that is your preferred search engine and read up and see. Some of the things you're going to see are not going to be consistent with what is in this presentation. Come back, let's have a conversation about it. I have done that process, and I say as follows. If I have seen it work, and I know that it works, why do I need to take the opinion of a search engine which has not tried it, has never checked it, and does not therefore know or is in a position to competently or authoritatively talk to me about it? Because $1 trillion, ladies and gentlemen, is a lot. What does $1 trillion look like? It will take a year to pile up $3 trillion. Sorry. This looks like 3 billion. 3.1 billion. My apologies. So 1 trillion is 7,394 years. Another way of looking at it, if you were to start $100 or $1,000 bills, one on top of the other, 1 trillion would take you 67.5 miles into the sky. That's almost well beyond the Earth's atmosphere. Can you imagine if a country with $28 trillion in debt? And don't take my word for it. Just go to the US debt clock that is available. Same Google, same search engine, type in US debt clock. This screenshot was taken today at about 5:30 this afternoon. And it is $28.4 trillion. The thing, though, that we should note is what the total US debt is, and that is nearly $87 trillion. Can you imagine what this means, especially with the plans that the current administration of that country has? We await to see how that is going to be paid for. With all of this information that is available, and I didn't remember to point out that according to the US labor statistics, the US dollar is actually worth 2 or 3 cents since the Federal Reserve was established in 1913. So that debt is actually even worse than it is as articulated in the debt chart. But I'll save that for another presentation. What we have seen with this ecosystem is a steady, progressive increase in value. And it is because of the users, it is because of the merchants, and we are still working to increase that merchant platform that is generating the demand for this coin, and therefore, subsequently, preference to the demand for the education, because the coin is not available and will not be available on its own. We must get into the education. Our former Dr. Ruja was very intelligent, and hence that's why she has the PhD. When she said, you will not give someone the keys to a car if they have not done what? Gone through regulations to understand hand signals and then had some actual practice in a vehicle. I came up in the system where we drove a stick shift or manual vehicle. Many people now are licensed only to drive automatic cars. And when we consider driverless vehicles, then one wonders whether this much wanted skill of driving will even be relevant. And there are so many skills, and this takes us into the business of the fourth industrial revolution, and some say the fifth industrial revolution, where humans and robots are working side by side to deliver value. But I'll save that for another time. I was alluding to this business of the deal shaker, where we can buy and sell. It is fast, it is easy, it is safe.
To know that we are a global community. We are the first line country, and this event proves that we are online country.
Realmente es un placer dar lugar a un evento de esta magnitud a nivel mundial, que por primera vez estamos haciendo historia juntos. We are making history together.
Making history together. First online country. And not to be outdone, we do have a video where this deal shaker expo was actually done in Trinidad. I believe it was in 2019. And it caused quite a stir. Many people did not think that such a thing was possible. But this is what successful people do. They are always too busy doing what other people are still talking about. Which one are you? Is this something for you where you believe strongly enough to refer it, to talk about it, to generate extra income by sharing it? Are you interested in qualifying to win trips around the world? Have the leadership program rounds, and this is the Eagle specifically. And I'd encourage you to get back with the person who invited you to get more details on the specifics of the Eagle program. Because we are talking about becoming the #1 cryptocurrency in the world. And this can be done 3 ways. One, through usability. We buy a lot of things, and at the core, we have bought it. Why? To be able to use it. We can also do this through expansion. The more people get to know about it and get to see how easy it is to do, and how easy it is to use, and how easy it is to learn, it will expand. And inevitably, that expansion will now bring about market capitalization. So some months ago, we heard about the market cap of Bitcoin crossing 1 billion for the first time and so on. Bear in mind, this is something that started in 2009 at premium price of 10 cents US. And if we did not need any further convincing, I would like us to remember this. Here is a news update where the World Bank has ordered the Trinidad and Tobago government to cut public sector's wages by 40% before 2022. This action may lead to a reduction of the workforce by at least 1/3. Now let's consider some of these figures. If our labor force is about 600,000 people, and this is going to be cut by 1/3, that's 200,000 people. Where are these 200,000 people going to find the opportunity, the income, the wherewithal to support their families, to support themselves? What happens to the taxation revenue that will be lost as a consequence? How will it be replaced? All very interesting questions, which we do not have time, unfortunately, to answer at this place and in this space. We assert that our advantage is to become a pioneer instead of becoming a user. Pioneers, those who move first, those who catch the wave first. According to Aesop's fables, I believe, the early bird catches the worm. All successful people get up early. Robin Sharma talks about it in his book, The 5 a.m. Club. Nelson Mandela used to be up at 5 to 5, the late great Nelson Mandela, and many others talk about this being early. Which one do you want to be? Do you want to be only a user of Facebook and Apple, Bitcoin? It's too late, I think, to become pioneers in any of those three. There is still time. There may still be a lot, and we believe there is, to be gained by becoming a pioneer in the one life opportunity. As is always the case, you have the decision to make this choice or to leave it to chance. Because even a journey of 1,000 kilometers begins with the first step. I would like to thank you for your kind attention and bid you a great evening as this presentation comes to a close. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Looking forward to hearing from you again in the not too distant future.
Great job. Well done, Alvin. I just stepped away for a second, and excellent job.
Thank you. I am a bit rusty, and
No, man, no rush showing there at all. We still live, so we could just close off. It was fantastic. You show why you are a true Toastmaster, rising to the occasion. It was clearly laid out. It's just for anyone who listens to this to take action. Thank you so very much.
thank you very much, Muriel, for your kind words, for the encouragement, which again you always provide. And we hope to see others on the session when next it is held, perhaps next week, Monday. And of course, we look forward to those who will join us on Thursday for the OneAcademy topic that is likely to be discussed.
On Wednesday, we have Beyond 2021 Gael, the Caribbean channel. And we look forward to you again presenting next Monday if possible. So have a great night. One's out.
One's out.